I'm going to tell you a very personal story. I was born and raised in Belarus in Eastern Europe. When I was 17, I was an exchange student at Whiteland Community High School in Indiana. I became very close to my host family, and at 22, I was back in the United States living with them. I heard America was a country where dreams come true, so I set out to become a filmmaker. I started going to school and working full-time to pay my way through college. One morning at work, I felt weak. My eyes darkened, my heart started racing, and I felt like I was having a heart attack. They took me in an ambulance to the hospital, and after running extensive tests, the doctor said that there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. But a few days later, I had exactly the same sensation in my chest. So I visited another heart hospital, and the doctors again told me I was perfectly fine. It took some time for me to discover that this wasn't a physical condition. I was having panic attacks. And these attacks were so severe I couldn't even walk 30 feet to the mailbox. I quit my job, stopped going to school, my American dream was over. But I was lucky in two ways. My host family told me that I could live with them and not have to worry about anything. And I also have a relative back in Belarus who is a phenomenal psychologist. So I started calling her every day. Here I was, lying on the couch in Franklin, Indiana, with a psychologist across the world helping me. Months went by, and one day, I was able to walk 30 feet to the mailbox. The next day, I walked around the house, then around the block, then I went for a drive, and slowly I was getting better. After a semester off, I went back to school, got another job, and I was again pursuing my American dream. Years later, when I joined A Bigger Vision, we would go into homeless camps. And as I got to know some of the people living there, I recognized them suffering from the similar problems that I had dealt with 13 years ago. A startling thought came over me. If not for my host family who gave me shelter, and my personal psychologist who was willing to talk to me for hours every day, without this support system, I would have ended up living on the street. The only difference between me and homeless folks is that I had someone who offered me shelter and support at my time of need. And this is why making our next film is so important to me. Here's an example of someone who did not have the support system that I had. Watch.
I, for one, am a mental health patient. And the mental health around Indianapolis is a joke.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is the only place we have to go. Nobody wants us there because they feel like because we're mental health, we're going to tear up the property, we're on drugs, there's something wrong with us. No, we're mental. That's all that, it's just a psychological problem. And a lot of these folks out here, have psychological issues as well. It's not to be punished for that. But like y'all were asking, nobody bothers to ask us where we want to be. Nobody bothers to ask us, how are your kids? How's your life? Are you happy? Nobody asks us those questions. So for you to come out here and take a review of these people's lives, maybe something can change in Indianapolis, because the mental health system and probation, parole, and all this other crap that's going on, it doesn't suit us to a place to live and food on our table and families behind our backs to help us strive to become better people. It's a shame what they're doing to us. Thank you.